And good afternoon, everybody. It's 1 o'clock on Monday morning, April the 13th. I guess it's not morning, is it? I don't know what I'm doing. Ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, it depends on where you are. This is worldwide.
Out on the West Coast, we're still in the morning, right? Oh my gosh. Folks, I am very happy to have on with me today. He's one of the founders of Baddies Comedy Company here in the Twin Cities. He also is a fantastic photographer and content provider and marketer. There's so much that we want to find out about him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bruce Leroy Williams to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Everybody claps all at once, right? Well, I got to tell
was a great introduction. When it's a dope introduction like that, they can't help but clap. Like, that was a dope introduction. They be like, who is this? Who is this person about to come up here?
Oh, look, see, my mother already approved. My mother watches every day, Bruce, and she gives
Miss Mary.
She gives a rating after the show. It's like, oh, he's a nice guy. It's like, awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how she does. Now, I do have to do a little bit of housekeeping. So my mom does every year this guessing game where she puts something in a jar and all of my extended family guesses what's in it. So I actually played her video that she sent out because we're all quarantined, right? So we couldn't go down to see her for Easter. So she now did a video, and I opened it up to people on Friday if they wanted to make a guess, right? And so here is the answer, the actual guess, and I'm going to play this right away at the front and get it out of the way.
Hello, everyone. Here I am back again with the Tootsie Roll jar, and I will tell you that the number in there is 205. Good luck, whoever won. Enjoy your prize. Thank you.
All right. And the winner, 205 was the number. The winner who did not go over was Kelly Babcock, who guessed 188. So I sent her a $25 Amazon gift card, and Kelly, enjoy that. And if you're watching, you can say how much you appreciate the show. Yeah, there she is. Yay!
Good job, Kelly.
Awesome.
You got the eye of the tiger.
That's right. That's right. All right, Kelly.
So hold on. What were they guessing?
So in that jar, my mom put a number of those little miniature Tootsie Rolls, but she also put a lot of other stuff in there to kind of take up space. So the idea was, you guess how many Tootsie Rolls are in that jar, and she did it for our family, and
you shared it.
I just shared it because she sent the video. And I thought, well, people will get on. And then some of the Twin Cities comics started Prices Righting each other and just adding one on, but they were going the wrong way. They started at 212, and there's Stephen Tovar. He was 213. But hell, he could have.
Wow.
Anyway, $25 Amazon gift card to Kelly Babcock. Congratulations to you, and thanks for everybody that played. Yeah, she won the virtual guest, but haven't won the real jar. Well, you're not going to get the real jar. It's a $25 gift card. You get your own. All right. So, for those of you who want to know, well, how does John Russell know Bruce Williams? Bruce Williams and I were fortunate enough to work together up at Running Aces. About 2 years ago now? I think.
Was it 2 years ago?
Maybe it was. I don't know. You know, time just
moves fast.
It's compressed as well. But had a great time talking with you, finding out a little bit more about you. And now I have a full hour to find out even more and ask you some questions about some of the things that you're doing now. Like, one of the things I found very, very interesting was that you're a vegan, correct?
I am vegan. I've been vegan for 4 years, and then was a vegetarian for 1 year.
All right. And also,
you're a vegan as well, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm a vegan. I just make exceptions on meat and fish. But one of the things I found very, very interesting is, and I don't know if you're still doing it, I hope you still are, but you have a partner that you do a podcast, kind of a video cast or a vlog with, about vegans for African Americans.
So basically, I had a podcast called "Do Fries Come with This Convo," and it was basically vegan, everything, but definitely it lasted about 20 episodes. We created, so it was really a pilot that we created, and we didn't really publish it out, but it was a super dope concept, and we still might try something, but it's in my archive. You know how when you create content, you got an archive full of shit that ain't never nobody gonna see until one day you decide to release it.
Absolutely. And a lot of that. Now, were you doing that in Minneapolis, or you were doing that in Atlanta?
No, so that was in Atlanta. So basically, I was flying back and forth from here to Atlanta, and I was producing the whole thing. So literally, I was the cameraman, the light man. I was on the show. I was writing. But when we're up here in the Midwest, that's what we don't specialize. We do everything so that we have a better opportunity to get seen. When you're somewhere in Atlanta, you can specialize. So I found somebody who specialized in research and cooking, and it was a perfect combination.
Fantastic. And I
you
did
gotta find people.
I was going to say
find people that match.
Yeah.
And home run.
I was going to say you did give me a link. I got to watch one of those episodes, and I thought it was fantastic. I mean,
I appreciate it.
You guys just had a great chemistry too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got another one about to drop too. It's myself in the kitchen cooking, because you've seen that I do a lot of cooking. I like to have a camera, so I use it everywhere. I got all type of videos that y'all probably should know about, but I film everything, and so it's like, why not put all of it together into something that's specifically a good representation of me.
Absolutely. And so when you're ready to drop that, please let me know, because I'll just share it on here as well. Because I like that. That's a thing I like to do, like right now, particularly when there's not anything going on and people are like, all the people that are creative.
It's the perfect time for the grassroots creatives to shine, because you're going to run out of shit to watch.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of HBO Prime, all of that. You're going to run out because you've seen all those movies. So now it's time to look at the people who don't really get seen. And I've been sharing underground music. I've been sharing underground dope movies that people have never seen. And they're like, wow, this is better than what's in the actual theaters. And then so when all of this is over, and John, when we get an opportunity to come back on stage, it is going to be crazy.
Absolutely, it is.
Really dope. The comedy club atmospheres, just the entertainment industry, people are going to be so excited to be able to enjoy that type of stuff again, and really have a more of an appreciation for the arts, because now we're visible.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you're one of the founders of Baddies Comedy Company here in the Twin Cities. And when was the last show that you guys were able to put on?
Man, we were doing a monthly show in North Minneapolis at a place called New Rules. And we just ended that. It seemed like a lot of stuff when all this stuff started happening, a lot of stuff started slowly just drop. Like, it was stuff on the calendar and slowly pulled off, boop, 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 boop. And you look up and then no comedians out here doing comedy. Everybody's trying to do a online set.
So when was the last time that you yourself did a show?
Oh, man. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Yeah, Valentine's Day. That was the last show. It was in St. Cloud with Adrian Washington.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Cooper.
Gosh, what a lineup.
Yeah, I think I might have did a open mic or something like that to practice some material. But the last major show I did was Valentine's. I had a lot of stuff and I was excited, and it was like, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, I had a tattoo convention up at the Grand Casino in Hinckley. That was May 16th.
This is when all that different stuff starts happening. This is the season where the events and the galas and all of that. This is that season.
Yep.
And start going.
All went away. In fact, just they were holding out hope that it was still going to go on. It was May 16th.
Yeah, some of them didn't have a choice. They were like, no, in the show. I don't care.
Yeah,
I already paid him. So,
didn't get canceled until last week, and it was on May 16th. And then now I just now saw that in the last half hour or so, Governor Walz extended the emergency, not the lockdown, not the stay-at-home order, but the emergency until May 13th. So who knows when this is going to be over?
Yeah, I feel like it's a time for us to kind of like figure out what else we're good at and how during the time that this is like an evolution, really. Like, how are we going to evolve to the next step of our whatever we're doing? Whether it's comedy, whether it's you got to figure out how to sew virtually for at least a little, or take time to just really hone in on sewing until you get ridiculously good, or you have built a relationship with it that you're comfortable, and then come out of this a whole different person, an artist.
Absolutely. I just feel like one of the reasons that I liked you immediately was, aside from the fact that you were funny.
I appreciate you. I liked you too, John. It was a mutual thing.
Absolutely. But you just have such a positive attitude. And you have a positive attitude about everything, which in this, time that
not everything. Yeah, look, I'm like half namaste. I don't play.
I got you. At least when we were talking. All right.
I feel that.
Well, and about things that we were. Now let's see what we got here.
Oh, you were taking notes when we were talking?
No. I try to pay attention. This is toilet
talk, bro.
We can talk about toilets.
This is definitely toilet talk. You watch TED Talks on the toilet, literally, till your legs fall asleep. Then you got to do this.
I gotta get up.
You readjust and you continue to watch it.
Oh man. Oh, I just can't do it. So one of the things that I enjoyed about you, though, is you really, out of anybody I know, embrace technology and what it can do for somebody's brand and for marketing and all of that stuff. And that's what you kind of do with your business, Human Luminous, right? Or yeah.
Human Luminous. You yourself are a light. So you are a light. You decide if you're gonna be bright or you're gonna be dim. So I mean, like, I got a camera because I was a gamer, right? My game was Halo, but I tried to transfer those skills to Call of Duty. It was Black Ops, and I was on the game, and it was a little like 12-year-old kicking my ass, whooping me every time. I got so upset. I was like, forget this game and this system. I took it all to Best Buy. I was like, I want my money back. They're like, we can't give you your money back. We can give you store credit. They gave me store credit. I bought a camera, and the rest was history. I immediately started to see things, like things started to happen where I realized that this was going to be beneficial to what I can do, and then it's also going to be beneficial to for me as a business. So, I mean, once you realize that, you just keep rolling with something. That's with anything you do.
Absolutely. And if you go on your page, you've really done quite a bit for a number of people.
I think it's because I'm in multiple realms. That's the thing about like creatives. When you create, it comes out however it comes out.
That's true.
It could come out in a painting, right? It could be comedy. It comes out however it comes out. And so when you showcase them, because a lot of times you're scared as a creative to showcase your work because you're your biggest critic. But when you showcase them, you find out, oh, I'm in this realm as well. I'm in this. So it's really like cross marketing. Literally, you see me, you know me from here. You know my work here is good, and then you see that it transfers across the board to something else that I have a passion for.
Yeah, it's
the same with you. Look how cold of a comedian you are, and now you have a live stream to where you got people guessing on your mother's. That's dope. Like, period. That's a passion, a skill that transfers to another realm.
Well, you know,
Nobody got a live stream. I haven't seen any live streams like this before.
You know, the funny thing about it is I've been doing this for over a year.
Yeah, you were ready.
I've been doing it, and it's just like people were not captive like they are now. And like you said a little bit earlier, you run out of stuff, and you're like, what am I going to look at? And then all of a sudden, some fat old bastard pops up on the camera, and like, hey, I wonder what he's doing.
But it's interesting. It's interesting, period. And then it's professional. Like, if it don't look right, like, it's not gonna get anybody's attention. But if it looks professional, like this looks professional, immediately they're gonna be like, oh, what is this? This almost looks like the news. Like this looks like the news. What news is this? And then you get on here and the content is dope. Like that's easy win.
Well, that's a beautiful thing about this is that there's no lack of really cool people that I've met in my life that I can have come on and talk with me about stuff and find out, frankly, more about them than I got to as I met them. And just like you, gosh, I mean, one of my, and I don't know how to bring this up. If you remember, you were telling me about a gig that you got because you were a vegan down in Atlanta, where they paid you an insane amount of money for do you remember that?
It was crazy because I realized early that it's harder to do the comedy club thing. Like that is a rat race, you know, and you can do it, but you got to focus on that. All the other stuff around it is where, you know, the better opportunities are. Turning it into something that is more of a message rather than just telling jokes is going to be a lot more beneficial than trying to just tell jokes at the comedy club. And if it's something that somebody sees as something that they were looking for, then they're going to share it, and then it's you know how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Oh, and there's from Sharon. Watching on the Goonies Comedy Club website.
I appreciate you, Sharon.
It's
Share it, Sharon. Share the video, Sharon. You're supposed to be sharing. You're supposed to be sharing already.
Everybody's supposed to do that. And that's one of the things, too. Now, like, there have been a lot of virtual open mics. Have you done any of those yet?
No, I haven't done any virtual open mics. I think that it's really dope, though. I think that, I love seeing when people come up with new ideas, but my thing is I don't want to do nothing that nobody else did.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So when somebody do it, I'll be like, dang, I wish I thought of that. Oh man, good job though.
Well, like Ali's,
no, I haven't done any. Ali's is dope. And then they're super professional. They had it like, look, this is what it is. If you don't like it, then this, come next week.
Yeah.
It's always real good comics. It's always comedians that are well known. But it's also a lot of diversity. Yeah. Which is the biggest thing for me is like show everybody.
Well, that's the whole thing. I say this and I mean it, and hopefully you'll agree. There are so many of us creative people that are stuck and can't really go out and do anything. And what we really yearn for is that feedback from an audience. And so what I try to tell people is if you see an open mic, if you see a musician, anybody that's live streaming, stop, watch them. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but watch them, give them a like so they know that people care about what they're doing.
Yep, because again, somebody's gonna see that and say, "Oh, this person's an artist too." It's almost a game. Yeah, it's almost a game that is playing. But if you play it genuinely, it's gonna have a larger return for you. But it's definitely a game. I like your picture or I like your status. Just say, "Oh, who is this person?" Especially if you're only getting 10 or 12 likes, you know who all of those people are. And if a new name pops up, who is this? I'm gonna go see who this person is. Oh, this person does. Let me like this, so they see me. And so now either it's a connection, and y'all continue to figure out how whatever comes from that. But that's something that you're supposed to do.
Absolutely, regardless, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether we're. I mean,
Especially
that's
now,
one
everybody's on their computer now. Everybody is
yeah,
on their computer now. You might as well be using it in a way that's going to be beneficial to you.
yeah.
You
Well,
might
that's
as well be using it in a way that is gonna help you rather than keep you like going crazy because everybody going crazy.
absolutely. Now, one of the things that you shared on your Facebook page was, and I think it was, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, you shared a list of things to do while in quarantine, and it's a got all these links for all. I
Yes,
mean, to me, and I will,
museums,
yeah,
virtual tours,
virtual tours,
audiobooks,
plays that are going to be
learning
live,
stuff,
and I mean, my
games.
gosh,
Yeah,
how awesome was that list? And by the way, go and like him or follow him on Facebook or any of his social media. It's right down there at the bottom. You can find him. But that list in and of itself, my gosh, that kept me occupied. And I'm like, now I got stuff that I have planned.
yeah. I saw somebody gave that to me, so I was appreciative for that, and I was like, I have to share this with everybody because, like, what? I'm
It,
going to the museum with my kids right in the living room.
it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely
Yeah,
incredible. All right. So we know that you were one of the founders of Baddies.
yeah.
What got you started doing comedy, Bruce?
Shout out to Pierre and Brandon. First off, baddies. Uh, what started me doing comedy? I was actually like doing like the no, I can't actually. I actually went to an open mic and somebody signed me up. And they called my name and I was like, it's another Bruce Leroy in here. They was like, no, you fool. And so I got up there and I told a story that I had, and it was maybe a minute and a half. It was at Acme. That's the club that you go to when you are first trying out. Put your star by your name, and they put me on stage. I was surprised that they actually put me on stage. I did a minute and a half. I got off the stage, and then people actually started coming up to me and telling me that my story was funny. So I was like, oh, okay. And then from there, Pierre was doing shows. Pierre was throwing shows, Cool P Comedy. He started putting me in shows. I was like, all right. Next thing you know, everybody was saying that I was funny, and it was a wrap from there. I wasn't really taking it serious though for a long time. I just
Yeah.
was playing around, and then Pierre and Brandon came to me with Baddies, and from there you had to take it serious because you're on stage, 3, 4, 5 times a week. You gotta
Yeah.
After a while you start to be able to develop stories, and you start to understand, an audience. Like especially when you're in, you play those gigs where the audience is just ruthless, like drunk, coming on the stage with you. Like you know what I'm saying? We did the 4th Street Saloon in North Minneapolis. Shout out to Big Mike. Oh man, this place was gold for developing a comedian's ability to deal with an audience, because it was no telling what would happen on any day. And it was fun. It was super dope. It was always a good show. We never had really any issues, but there were always little weird things. Like one time I remember Pierre was on stage telling jokes, and there was an old bodybuilder, like an ex-bodybuilder dude. And Pierre literally started roasting him because he was talking too much. And so now he wants to fight Pierre. But he's out of there. He can barely stand up. It's literally half of the show is this interaction, but it was so funny because by that time Pierre had learned how to deal with those type things in a way that was we were able to keep the audience coming back.
Isn't it interesting though how in so many cases it doesn't make any difference where you're doing comedy. If alcohol is involved, there's always somebody that's going to have a little bit too much and try to insert themselves.
Yes, it's crazy. People. That's the thing that makes comedy shows like multiple different type of things. Like there's different realms of comedy, and alcohol involved comedy is in a realm of its own.
Well, that's
I remember watching a fraternity brother of mine have to dodge a stool. A man is on stage swinging a stool at him. Imagine going through that.
I can't. I've been fortunate because I'm a big guy, and for whatever reason,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
You
usually
got a name like John. People don't. Your name is John. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you. I got a name like Bruce. They ain't gonna mess with me because my name is Bruce. That is literally a force field. They be like, his name's Bruce. Bruce what? Bruce Leroy? Oh no, Bruce Leroy. You know something that I don't know.
How about Bruce kick your ass?
Your name is John Russell. It sounds like you chop trees for a living. John Russell. That sounds like a old wrestler. Wasn't it from John Russell? A wrestler?
They're Big John Stud.
Like WWF.
Big John
wrestler.
Stud. That's me.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people will say, John Russell, just like yours, Bruce Leroy Williams. That's how I know you, Bruce Leroy Williams.
Yeah.
And people act, they tell me you should you seems like you should have another name. That's your whole name. They're like John Russell Thornton or some shit. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Here's D'Angelo. Hi, D'Angelo. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for looking
Your arms
in.
ain't that big though. What's up, Colton?
Colton, it's
and Emily.
Emily and Colton, good to see you guys, and I hope all those Remick kids are doing good. I know them. That's my niece down in Des Moines, Iowa, and
shout out to Des Moines.
She's got 5 little kids. They're all about the same age.
My boy Dave Pieces out there in Des Moines.
Yeah, Dave. I had Dave on a couple of weeks ago. D'Angelo. Oh my gosh. So, tell me a little bit about how Batty's company came to be. He'll give you a vegan recipe later, D'Angelo.
I got you, bro. I brought you ramen noodles without the little pack. That's vegan, bro.
Shit, I've been vegan for a week.
So I believe it started from a Facebook post that maybe Brandon or Pierre did. And then next thing you know, we were in a meeting together at the sandwich shop over in Dinkytown. And then we started just kind of throwing shows. We got an opportunity. Pierre hooked up an opportunity with the 4th Street Saloon. That was the first place we started actually throwing shows at the 4th Street Saloon. And then we found a building, probably about, I don't know how long we was at the 4th Street. Man, we was there. It seems like years we was there, but it might not have been. It might have been like 6 months. But it feels like it was a long time that we were in there until we found a space. We found a little ex-office building type situation that was gutted out. It was perfect for what we needed, and we went in there and with our hands and elbows and wash rags, we cleaned that mug up and started doing comedy shows. We put lights up. It was already a DJ booth like type situation in the back, so we turned it into a DJ booth, added sound, and literally we had been developing our comedy chops, so it literally was a matter of people coming in to see us.
Absolutely.
Every time people came in, they were like, "We bring in more people next time."
Yeah.
And it just started to grow exponentially.
And
6 months in, the Kevin Hart thing comes about.
Now tell everybody that doesn't know about that, because that's very, very cool.
Yeah. So, man, we have found out that they were casting for this thing, and we all kind of sent in. We all, meaning everybody who participated, sent in audition tapes, and when that type of thing happens, you don't hear nothing back for a long time. And so we're just operating the club. And then finally we hear that Kevin Hart is coming in town for a book signing. And me and Pierre go to the Mall of America. We buy a book. You can ask Pierre when the last time he bought a book. It's been a long time since I actually purchased with money a brand new book that came out. Okay, I get books given to me. I go to the half price bookstore, but I ain't never went to Barnes and Noble for nobody. So I felt a little old. So we got to meet Kevin Hart, but it wasn't really like a meet Kevin Hart type situation. It was a book signing. So you were up next, and you signed your book, take a picture, gone. Okay, next person. Literally a line around the block. So me and Pierre was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, you say the first half of the sentence. Okay, when you get up there, I'm gonna say the second half of the sentence when I get up there, and we're gonna ask them, about baddies. Trying to get to come to the. Pierre goes up there and he says, "Hey, I'm Pierre Douglas. I'm from Baddies Comedy. We're the first black-owned comedy club." And he was like, "Yeah, Baddies, I know. I already know. I know about Baddies." He was like, "What?" he took his picture, and if you look at Pierre's picture with Kevin Hart, he looked a little confused. He looked a little confused, like, "You know about Baddies?" And so then he goes, "He know about Baddies." He's telling me, and I froze up. I was like, you already know?" He took a picture, gone. So then we got an opportunity for them to come and look at the place a few weeks later. And this was maybe 6 months in to us throwing shows there. And then we ended up getting chosen out of a few other places, which was really dope.
And
they did the comedy show there. And then they picked 4 comedians to represent the Twin Cities. I was one of the 4.
Yeah.
It was a super dope experience. Especially with being in the production realm, because I got to see I was there. I definitely was on the set more than anybody.
Wow.
They were like, "Oh, the comedians can go home." I was like, "I'm not going nowhere. I am here." I'm literally watching them put up lights. I'm watching them bring these big Comedy Central cameras in. They had 8 of them, and 8 cameras in that little building. So that's why it was only a few people allowed to come to the screening. Is because there was so many cameras and equipment just rigged up. They changed everything. They made an entire screening room out of a whole nother office to where there was like 8 TVs. They had all the mixers and all. It was crazy. We had a green room in the back. There was assistants running around. So I really that was like one of the first experiences for me being like on a scene, like on a production, real production.
Yeah.
So super dope experience for me, and I used it more as like I wanted to be around him. I wanted to be in his aura, to see how he moved, to watch him, to see how everything was laid out. And I'm super appreciative because I definitely did that, and I definitely pulled some of that back in.
One of the cool things about it that I thought was, hello, Betsy.
Hey,
Good
Betsy.
to see you.
I'm here too, though.
Thanks for looking. Well, that's my sister, so she's just, she does.
I know. You got a bias opinion.
It's only she's just mad because she didn't win the mom's guessing jar thing. And she saw it. She could. Well, go, anyway. The point is, one of the cool things that I think about that Kevin Hart experience at Baddies was that you guys. I mean, like, it's really unlikely, and for you guys to go and say, we got to go to this book signing, we got to talk to this guy, we got to try to get this done. So many people put that kind of thing out of their minds, Yeah, now she's kissing up.
Too late now. No, I'm just playing. Hey, Betsy, what's up, Steve? I appreciate you guys. What's up, Charlie? Yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta just be creative with it. And shout out to Pierre because that was his idea. Definitely his idea. I was with it though because I was like, you definitely right. We should definitely do that. I'm mad. I didn't think about that.
Well, we already. I mean, so one of the things I like to do, Bruce, is I kind of like to ask people what your worst experience doing comedy was, and what your best. We kind of already talked about it a little bit, but is there? I mean, because I would assume, maybe I'm wrong.
Experience in comedy, I would say my best experience in comedy is doing comedy for like my family. Like during Thanksgiving, I got an opportunity to do comedy for like my grandparents and my aunts and my uncles, and then
cool.
My grandmother comes from out of town. When they get to see me, those are the best experiences for me in comedy. I've done like a lot of different major shows, good shows, big shows, whatever. But like this Thanksgiving, it was this past Thanksgiving, sitting in front of my family and just kind of running a quick little, clean set. And for them to kind of get to see like because they hear that I'm a comedian, for them to actually see me flow is like super dope for me. Worst experience in comedy, I did comedy on a cruise ship.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and when I say cruise ship, not like the kind of cruise ship that goes to Jamaica. I'm talking about Lake Minnetonka cruise ship. Okay, so they had me do comedy. They gave me a microphone, but it was through the intercom system. So there's people sitting downstairs and there's people sitting upstairs. So I'm fairly new to comedy. I'm trying to go upstairs and downstairs and do a set. It went really, really bad. The worst part about it is they did comedy first when we first got on the boat. Okay, so I got to be on this boat for another 3 hours with these people that I done bombed in front of me, and all the uncles were talking shit.
Oh,
they smoking cigarettes, talking about, "Hey, brother, they got a free class for electricians if you need it. You might want to." Crazy part about it is we were doing a show at the Heritage Tea House on University. Shout out to the Heritage Tea House. And one of the ladies that was on that cruise ship, on that little boat, came and she was like, "I remember you." And I was like, "How do you remember me?" She was like, "You were on our family reunion boat." And I was like, "Oh my goodness." But after the show, she came and she was like, "Whoa, you have really grown," and they rehired me.
Oh wow!
To do it again.
Awesome.
So yeah, it
See,
was
that's
super crazy experience. Like I had to literally sit there and get roasted by all the uncles, and I wasn't even attractive. No, like the women was like, no. No, do you have a real job, sir?
To me,
luckily I did at the time.
Yeah, to me, that's one of the coolest things about doing comedy and doing it for a while, right? Is to have people that you don't know come up and say, "Hey, I remember you from." "Hey, Justin, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for looking in."
Shout out to New Orleans.
To say, "Hey, I remember you from this show or wherever the show is." To me, that's so cool because even like in your case, even if you didn't do like the job that you would say, "Oh my God, that was a great show."
Yeah.
You made enough of an impression that she remembered you. And that's the cool part of it.
That's the dope part about comedy. Like Kevin Hart said something, asked a question, I remember, and he was like, "In doing comedy, do you think that it's more important to be funny, or do you think that it's more important to leave an impression for people to get a message?" I thought that was super important because I thought of it like that, but to hear it coming from the number one comedian, in the world at the time, like it rang a chord for me, and it totally changed the way that I started writing.
Absolutely.
Then it shows from then. After that, people always, and then also like one thing that I always do is I always greet people when they leave. Some comedians, even if I bomb, I'm going to at least make a last impression with you before you leave. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Because then you'll remember that rather than me not doing so well on
Absolutely.
Stage. But if you kill and do that, they're definitely gonna
remember. Even better. So one of the things you do, because of your knowledge of technology and production, you've kind of, and I don't know how far it's go because I haven't gotten to go to it, but I'm very, very interested in it, is you've got kind of a project that you do with David Fugate?
David Fugate has a company, a nonprofit, I believe, called Here and There Live. Now, this is a dope situation organization because they are like a incubating space for people that are stage performers or actors or in the production realm. They gave me my first opportunity, helped me put together my first short film, which from there, like, and then, you get the bug after you go through a process and learn the back end. So I had just learned, I had just saw Kevin Hart's, and then now this one is me going through the process of writing a story, and then having it put into a script, and then actually taking that script and doing the cinematography and directing myself through it. So, shout out to David and Hearing Their Lives. Super dope organization. Everybody that I meet and that is in production or in media, I ask them, do they know about this place? Because they exposed me to something that I had never been exposed to, that I was interested in, but I just really didn't know how to do it. Like, they did casting. Like, I was like, what? Y'all doing casting? It would have been a lot harder for me to do that on my own. But they came through like Shaq and Kobe.
And that's one of the great things is that for anybody that's out there performing, this is open to them.
Yeah,
right?
There's so many resources out here, man. Like, you just gotta really look for them, or you have to talk to people. You have to figure out who is in your realm, who is in your niche. It's one of them. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Niche.
Who's in your niche? I say it's in your niche, and then my mom be like, it's niche. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Who's in your lane? And they'll give you information about what resources are available. Like New Rules in North Minneapolis. Like, I've done workshops there on, multimedia, photography. I've done yoga classes there. I've thrown comedy shows there. Like, that place in the area that it is such a resource. And to my understanding, or to my thought process, that thing should be bussing every day, no matter what. But I understand that people don't even realize what things are because they don't actually go out to seek that stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be told, or somebody has to give you the information.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we're done with this, please give me a link for Here and There and anything that you think would be useful for anybody watching.
And There .live.
Here and There .live.
Yes.
So I'll put that down.
It's in Southdale Mall on the 4th floor, like above Bath and Body Works.
And they have kind of well, not now, of course, but they were kind of having a monthly get together.
They got all type of stuff going on.
All the time.
So I wouldn't say hosting, but I was kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you can just lead people.
Facilitating.
I was hosting facilitating is the word. I was facilitating a open mic. So where you could come and for comedians, so you can come and work on your material with other comedians, and then also get an opportunity to maybe build some content or write some content with writers and actors and all of that stuff. So that was super dope. They had like open mics for like musicians. They have like acting challenges for actors. You know how like they have these film festivals where you have to write a specific story for a specific thing. They would say, okay, you need to do something with only natural lighting, film a movie in a room with only natural lighting, and then you do a challenge with whatever team that you do it with, and then you submit it. And then they have an opportunity. They have a way to like showcase it on like a screen in their building. It's super dope. It's super dope. If you don't know, now you know. Seek.
Take advantage of it. Take advantage.
Or not.
That's one of the I think the big problems, and the open mic scene and the comedy scene here in Minneapolis as well as I do. There are some people that are very, very good at taking advantage of all of those opportunities. But there are also some people that are very talented that for whatever reason can't seek that stuff out. They for whatever reason. And it's like it's one of the most difficult things I think for people to do.
I think that it's gotta be everybody writes differently. And I think that when it comes to like open mics, I've met comedians before, like really, really dope comedians that say, I've never done an open mic in my life. I literally just write in the mirror, or I'll write, and I'll, just talk to my friends about my material. because they have an understanding of what's funny to them. And comedy is subjective. So if you have an understanding of what's funny to you, it's probably going to be funny to the people that are similar to you. It's just, how you deliver it. That's where open mic comes into. So
Right.
you always have to find the time to work that out on stage. How that happens, I think some people get actual opportunities to be on stage for a longer period of time, so where they can deliver some actual material, and they can throw in some new stuff to see how it. So everybody kind of like has their own quote unquote open mic. Some people are Facebook. Facebook is literally my open mic. I might not go live, but I'm a type of status, and I'm gonna see what comments come up because they're gonna help me build the joke. I'm gonna see what how active people are in engaging with it, because that means it's a topic that is probably a little broader than
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking, and I can start to write from there. So, man, this quarantine, this lockdown, this sit at home, this house arrest, whatever it is, has been like super creative,
Yeah.
like mania in
Well,
all different directions, because we got a lot more time. And then
we have time, and there's no real other than going out and doing it in front of somebody, which we obviously don't need to do. But
yeah,
all there's way less restriction for creative people now. Even though you're stuck at home, that doesn't make any difference. It doesn't mean you can't still do stuff.
everybody's gonna be going to open mics after this.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody open mics are gonna be jumping with 99 comedians, because
Oh, my gosh.
everybody's gonna have their perspective on what they go through. And the crazy part about it is, we are sitting going through something and not even paying attention to it right now until somebody gets on stage and says it, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I was boiling water in the pot because my thing broke. It could be any little thing. So it's gonna be super interesting what comes out after everybody gets to come back outside.
Well, the beautiful thing is that everybody, it's going to be such a common experience, yet everybody's experience is going to be wildly different.
Perspective is everything.
And that's going to be the cool part to me. How
you been doing, John? In this whole shift. We call it a shift.
So, one thing, I guess, and some people that watch know this. So I was very fortunate. In February, I got a job working with a company called Market Source, and we were going out and doing training for Dunkin' Donuts. Greg Coleman was on that crew. A couple other comedians. Wendy Mayberry was our supervisor, and then some other people from around the country. We got to work at that job, which honestly was awesome. It was like we were doing these training shows in front of 150 people, and it was the best because we got paid well too, right? 6 weeks because of the corona, COVID, whatever. We're on layoff now. Hopefully we'll get hired back. Hopefully everything comes up, but now not so much. And and we had 2 weeks where we were still being paid but not doing anything.
Wow.
And so it was like, well, because nobody knows what's going to happen, right? And so I hated being at home.
Yeah.
And I still hate being at home. And to be fair, I don't like to go out of the house because I'm in that target, unfortunately, right?
I get it.
I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the grocery store. I don't want to, because you see all of these stories, right? So I'm kind of like a little bit of a Chicken Little in the fact that I'm like, I know it's not going to be, if I go out the door, I'm going to die. I know that. I know that's not true.
I get it.
But it's just like, part of me is like, if I go and do anything, I can't really do it. So I'm like, what's the point? That's the reason that I'm doing this.
The dope part about it is technology is kind of giving you a lot of resources that is going to help you, just kind of chill and lay low for a while till it all boils over. And you get to kind of, really work on like your content and stuff that you need to that you want to, or that you never really got to work
Yeah.
it. Also, make sure you're doing stuff in the house. I mean, just staying active. Because I know for me, I'll be behind this computer all the time, and my back goes crazy. So I do yoga. You know I do yoga.
I do.
Get some. I know there's YouTube videos. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make something for you, John, because I know you sitting down.
If
I know you sit down a lot. I'm gonna make
Oh,
something for you on how to at least relieve your back from sitting in a chair all day, because I do it, and I'm gonna make a video specifically for you coming up this week. John, I got you.
Oh my God, I will look forward to it, and I will share it, and I will do it. Because one of the things too that you do on occasion is you've got your 50 days.
Yeah.
Explain to people that, because it's just such a cool concept.
So today, 50 days, day 12, and this is a different type of 50 days. I do a challenge called 50 Days of Water. Okay, for 50 days, your only beverage is water. You can have like tea, but you can't add any sweetener. It just has to be some type of tea that you just like the flavor of that tea. Go ahead and go with that, and water. That's it. But the purpose is for you to continue to drink water. You eat whatever you want to. You don't have to change your diet. Just, pay attention. But the purpose is to pay attention to how it affects your mood, your body, your spirit, all of that, because it's going to, especially if it's not something that you do often. You're going to see some things happen. You might get irritable. You might get more energy. Your sleep might become more restorative. Your joints, I mean, it can do so many different things that you're going to notice something. So throughout that 50 days, notice what you notice. And then afterwards, you can continue to go, or, you have now developed a habit to where you are going to drink water more. And that's actually what ended up leading me to being vegan. That was the first time I did it, because of I'm one of us. I was literally behind the computer all the time. I was drinking Red Bulls with my dinner. And I realized, like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. I need to back. And then that's where 50 Days of Water came. But that's how I ended up trying to increase the difficulty each time. And then it became 50 Days Vegan. And then I did that for 50 days, and I never
turned back.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jackie Berry, I don't know if you noticed that, popped
Jackie,
in there.
50 days.
She's a fan of the 50 days.
She's done 50 days a couple times, and your muscle ain't big as that either.
So when you do the 50, you don't drink extra water. It's just that you only drink water.
So majority of the people do. They start to drink as much as water as they research or they feel is needed, because there's so many different understandings of how much water you need. It depends on who you are, what you do. So they do their own individual water of how much water that they feel they need, and then they drink that. And then, I mean, if you're only drinking water, your body's gonna tell you when you need more water. Like right now, I need to grab a water. But your body's gonna tell you. You know the symptoms. You know when you're thirsty. You know when your mouth is dry. All of that stuff. And then when you don't need any more water, your body's gonna tell you, because you're gonna be peeing every 3 minutes. You're gonna be waking up in the middle of the night peeing. So you'll learn how to regulate the amount of water you need throughout the process of 50 days. You're not gonna realize that that's what you're doing, but there's all these little things that are happening that by the end of 50 days, you're like, I'm glad I did that, because now I kind of have a new perspective on how my intake affects everything. What I consume
Yeah.
affects
I was going to say, the important thing about water is that it's so much of our bodies, and it replenishes so much, and it balances a lot of problems that we have out.
Water is in everything.
Yeah.
Water is in almost everything. Like everything. Like it's all over the place. It's in the air you breathe. So
it is. All right, Bruce, we're coming up on almost an hour. I can't believe it's gone by this fast.
That was fast, man. That was a good conversation.
I love talking with you. And
I love talking with you, brother.
Well, let's do it again sometime.
Let's do it.
There's Justin. Are you a 50-day guy?
Justin knows.
Let's do it again. And I really not only look forward to talking with you again, I'm looking forward to being on stage with you somewhere again.
It's coming soon, brother. I promise.
I hope and hope. Anything else that you'd like to plug again before we leave?
LegendaryBruce.com, BaddiesComedy.com. Stay tuned because it ain't over. HumanLuminous.com as well.
Human Luminous. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As I always say, I appreciate anybody that watches because literally, you guys get no reason to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And it just means the world to me that you do. If you, again, see somebody that's doing an open mic comedy show or a music show or anything like that, all right, stop, give them a watch, share it, like it, help them out because it makes us all feel closer and all feel more together. Other than that, thank you again, Bruce. It was fantastic, and I'll look forward to seeing you again. Stay safe, my friend. And for all of you, tomorrow we have Wayne Burfind that we'll be talking with at 1 o'clock. Take care, everybody. Wash your hands.
Keep your hair grease.
There you go.